Help Action Needed, a D&D podcast. Hello, and welcome back to another episode of Help Action Needed, a D&D podcast. My name is Sean Hardy, and I am the Dungeon Master for our story and playing whoever else happens to be in the world with us. But before we get started, let's meet the people that are live with us right now.
Hi, I'm Kate Zarczyk Johnson, and I play Maury.
Hi, I'm Dan Johnson, and I play Cass.
Hi, I'm Julie Perez, and I play Frog.
So at the end of the last episode, Cass, Frog, and Nori, as well as their small friend Midge, took down an assassin. There was some difficulty as Midge went down and then back up and then back down and then back up again. Midge is currently standing. The assassin that came for them, I remind you, is that tiefling who was cloaked in what seemed to be illusionary robes to help disguise the appearance. And as he went down, 2 obsidian orbs rolled out of his eye sockets while his eyes remained in. And we pick back up right here on our episode of Help Action Needed, as you all are looking at a body. What do?
Well, that was a little bit of a doozy. I think as one of my first actions is Nori would then be to look around and ask everybody how they're feeling in terms of hit points. Because that was a little rough. So how we looking? Does anyone need anything? I know that I do. I am down at least about 7 hit points. Do we remember, or can we look up really quick what Midge was at? Because I don't know if I wrote down any of Midge's stats that we...
Yep, Midge is currently at 5, which, to give a little insight, is half her health.
So Midge has a total of 10 HP?
Correct. Yep.
Okay. And then, I'm sorry, Cass, what are you at?
Cass looks down as he's bleeding out from the multiple stab wounds that Nori clearly saw. He's like, I'm fine at the moment.
Okay, if you say so. Frog, how are you doing?
Frog is doing okay. She'll be all right.
I will go ahead and cast a level 1 Cure Wounds and take care of at least Midge, if not someone else, while I look up all of those things. But
I mean, I'll take it. I guess that's fine.
Oh, okay, sure. But while I do that, if you guys want to do anything
on one person, you know that, right?
I'm pretty sure.
Oh, well,
Yeah, a level 1 cure wounds would be I'm curing Midge, I'm curing Nori.
You cast a spell. Oh. Hoop. That's okay. I'll still use 2 of my first spell slots, and I'll do it on Midge and on Cass. So, while I'm figuring out those score things, if you guys want to do anything else, go right ahead.
Frog is eagerly looking at the body and goes to get anything out of pockets that she can.
Yeah, go ahead and make an Arcana check for me.
23.
23 for your Arcana. Nice. So you are looking over the body. Again, it's this tiefling man laying there. And the, arm bands of bandages that he's wrapped around, as you're unraveling them, you don't know exactly what they are, but you know that they'd be equivalent to casting Disguise Self on someone. So if you wanted to take them, you could use them, and it would just be a free, not spell slot casting of Disguise Self. But without casting the Identify spell, you wouldn't further know if they have anything else, if they need to be attuned, stuff like that. But that's what you can do with them. As well as the other main thing you find are right by his head, the 2 little obsidian orbs. You really well rolled on the last Arcana check you did on the sigil. You can see that these are the keys to complete it. You would have to interact with the sigil to figure out how you use them, but you know that these seem to be the key. Just in terms of other things on his body, he has a belt that has a missing dagger spot. If you wanted to go over by the stairs where Midge was, you could find a dagger, as well as his +1 scimitar he has. So if anyone needs a little weapon that might do a bit more damage, he's got one of those on him. Beyond that, nothing that would really pique your interest.
Okay. Frog will take off the arm wraps and point out the other weapons in case anyone else wants them. And she'll pick up the orbs as well.
I think +1, that's to the attack roll.
The attack roll
correct?
and the damage.
And the damage. Okay.
And melee weapon, so really anyone could use it.
Okay. I say, wow, that looks pretty cool. I don't think I'll need it though. I kind of like my warhammer. What about you, Cass?
Gonna slide it into my belt and sort of continue nonchalantly. And as this is happening, just sort of look to the group and be like, all right, we really need to stop making murdering people a habit. Like, this is not great. So what are we doing with him? As like, I'm just gonna start like picking him up once Frog finishes inspecting, like taking what she needs, and like probably trying to toss him behind the barrel somewhere, so it's not just a body out in the open.
And Cass, as you're doing that, Midge comes up to you, Nora. He's like, thank you for the healing. I know I went down, and I know I didn't do much, but I can provide more in the future. I am learning as we go, and I'm excited to see what comes next.
Oh, Midge, you were great. You did fantastic. So, kind of thinking about Cass's question, do you have any advice about what we should do with the body?
If you want to be stealthy, there's an ocean that you could drop it in the ocean. It's a bit of a walk, but if we're going back to the ships later in the day and you can stock it till then, I mean, we can do that. Other options, you could cut it up and hide it in several different things. It would take a while to be discovered if it's in pieces. Or I mean, if I don't know what the plan is, but if you are planning, Frog, to go through the teleport circle, if you teleport with the body, no one's gonna know where you're going, and no one's gonna know where the body is. I don't know.
Actually, Midge, that last one's not such a bad idea. And then also for rehashing information, what is in the room that we're in currently? Are there any like crates?
It's an empty room, other than like the walls are lined with barrels. Most of them stored with like coins or food, or like being lighter barrels that can be pulled out easily to make tables and stuff. There are no crates, but like one of the lighter barrels you could put a body into.
Can I roll investigation to see which one is light? See if maybe for now we can stick him in a barrel.
Sure. And just a reminder for the context of the room, above you is an ongoing casino, so if you make too much noise, it will draw attention. Go ahead and make that investigation check.
And I'm going to cast guidance on myself.
Okay.
And we're gonna roll it because I'm super intelligent. Woo! Oh, okay. 17 plus a d4. 21.
Nice. Using the pattern that Frog showed you last time of like the scratch marks on the ground, you go and like just kind of feel the weight of the barrels around them. They all tower about a foot taller than you, so it's not really like you can feel the whole thing unless you're trying to fly up to take the tops off. But you get to one that's pretty light, and you think, oh, this one could hold a body. There's capacity inside for a body.
Okay. Well, I'll take down the barrel quietly. If I need to roll a stealth check, let me know. But I'll take it down quietly and say, maybe we just leave him in here for now, and we can always come back later and deal with it?
Frog says, works for me. He's the one who attacked us first anyway.
And then I'll look at Cass. Say, well, technically we're not murdering him because he's already dead, so like, you just put him in here.
Midge, did you suggest we cut up the body? I'm still trying to comprehend.
I wouldn't personally do it, but I do hear that it is an easy way to dispose, especially if we're out on the seas and you need to chum the waters for a reason. Like, small bits of body are easily digestible by marine animals, and so if you cut up the body, it goes away. I imagine you could hide them on land, not as easily, but not as hard as a whole body.
Okay, all right. Just gonna glance at Nora, being like, "Oh, we're not writing this in our journal." Okay, got it. No, Nora, yeah, get the barrel down. We'll get this. At least hide him in there, and then once we get out of here, we can decide what we're gonna do next.
Okay, and then I'll say, well, I think we've established that I am not very stealthy. I may be a tank a little bit because, I work on the water and I'm, can be kind of strong. Is anyone else a little bit more stealthy than I am?
I'm not comparatively to you. I'm probably better, but Frog, are you stealthy?
Kind of.
I can give
Go
it a
ahead.
try. I can give it a try.
We're just pulling the barrel down, right?
No, we're putting
You gotta
the body
pop the
in
lid off and then slide a body in and pop the lid back on.
I'll handle it. It's fine. I don't want. No offense, Midge. I don't want anything to go wrong and you to end up getting hurt again.
I'll look at Cass and pat him on the shoulder and say, good luck, and cast guidance once again.
You use stealth check, right?
Yep, stealth.
4.
I know.
Okay.
13.
13. Yeah, you do it pretty well. Take a knife of some kind and just pop the lid off. For you, the barrel's not taller than you because you're not 2 feet tall. So it's not as hard just to lift and drop and reseal. There's probably some water in the bottom, or maybe it's an alcohol of some kind. So it just kind of goes with a nice slosh sound and then it's kept back up.
Lovely! Good job, Cass! And then I'll try and put it back in its original position, if I can roll a strength check.
To do that for the others, it wouldn't have needed to have been moved. So Cass is just able to drop it there.
Oh, okay. Perfect. Alright, well, now that we took care of the body, what do we want to do next?
We should leave.
Well, I realize that, but I mean, once we leave, what do we want to do?
I think we should focus on leaving first.
Okay, fine. And I'll, quietly, begrudgingly step up the stairs and lead the way. Or lead the way out.
Yeah, it's not hard to go up the stairs, go out the back wall. Though, Frog, you know the pattern to rotate the wall. Not hard to sneak out the back without anyone seeing you.
And before I leave, you said the barrel before we went down the stairs was full of the fake coins, right?
There were a lot of barrels full of fake coins, yeah.
Yeah, I'm just going to quick grab 10, throw them in my pocket, just in case.
Yeah, good to know.
So we're able to get out without any incident?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
And then we're just on that outward wall of the casino?
Behind it, yes.
Okay. Okay, well now that we're out, Mr. We have to get out of here, okay? Cass, what would you like to suggest that we do?
Frog, what are your thoughts? Just you can take the lead here. I'm really not sure what the best. It's the middle of the day.
I think that we need to take Midge home as soon as possible. I don't want anything else bad happening to her, so I vote we go see Dolly and her boat again.
Yep, I'm fine with that. I agree.
Alright, perfect. Mitch, do you want to lead the way?
Yeah, I can lead the way. I also think you all, due to Miss Nori's healing, feel a lot better. But in case you need, you could probably also take an hour or so on the ship just to relax. That might be to your benefit. But yeah, I can take us all home. Are you gonna ask me to stay behind? I'm getting the sense that I was a little in the way, and I didn't mean to be. But I understand that you're looking out for me because I took 2 hits and died. So I understand, but I do wish you would allow me to keep going with you.
Cass just is covering muffles of laughter, just trying not to be a dick.
I'm gonna take my pine cone that's hanging on my belt and smack him with it, and then say, Midge, you did so great. We just don't want you to get hurt. So if we need you, we'll let you know. But we might just want you to stay in the ship for a little bit. So that way we can scope everything out. And then if we need you, we'll come and get you, okay? But you did a great job.
Frog will turn to Midge and say, "We just really want you to be able to go back home to your family after you're done working for Dolly. So we just can't have anything bad happen to you."
All right. I appreciate the concern and I appreciate the tone, Miss Nori. I have heard that tone several times from my older siblings who are trying to say something in a kind and caring way. Message received, but it doesn't hinder our friendship, and I am still honored to have gone on this journey with you, and I am honored to have been your friend, and I am looking forward to when you call upon Midge once more. And like this conversation is happening as you're walking to the ship, so as you're like that, she would say that as you're getting there, and you're all back at the ship. When you get there, Dolly comes out, sees there. Midge kind of just does a little check-in, and you're welcome. You are welcomed onto the boat to take any rest you need to do, as well as to tell anyone you want to know whatever you want to know. When you're up on the ship, Dolly will introduce you to some of the other people. This is really your first time up there. So what you see is a typical like pirate vessel. The back, which Frog you've seen before, is Dolly's private quarters / head office, and she's just got her space there. She also pulls over some people and starts introducing to them, just in case you need to call on anyone. She goes, "Hi, this is Tegan. He is my first mate. So if you have anything you need, he can get it done for you while you're on my ship. Or we have over there, we have Claire, who is the head of rigging and can be the one who, if you need anything climbed, she can climb up for you, as well as our quartermaster over there named Daniel, and Daniel can get you anything you need. If it's on the ship, he can get it for you. Welcome back, Miss Frog. I hope your adventures were kind, and I appreciate all of you for returning my good crew Midge to me."
Frog will respond and say, "Yes, we had an excellent time. We may or may not have almost been assassinated, but Midge and my friends here were able to stop this assassination."
You know that when the goal is to find who's doing the assassinating and stop that for me, the goal is then not yourself to be assassinated. You were aware of that, correct?
We are, but were we assassinated?
Good point. Moving on. And then, like, if there's nothing you need to say, she'll go back to being the captain of a ship. Anything you all want to ask her? Anything you all want to do before she moves somewhere?
Would we be able to ask her if we could commune with her, talk with her in like an hour, so we can get a short rest in, talk about what we want to do, and then potentially talk with her? Because I think that maybe telling her some of this information would be kind of helpful, especially when potentially narrowing down who the assassin group might be.
Yeah. If you wanted to just talk with her as your short rest, that wouldn't fight each other. It's like, since you guys...
I'm thinking that, like, I would like to commune with the group first before just automatically assuming that we should go talk to her, in case other people don't think that we should.
Okay, then she's like, yeah, go down to the shed in which we first did our meeting, and I'll come down in about an hour or so, and we can commune then. That work for you all?
Perfect. Thank you.
Nice. And then Tegan leads you to the shed. He's not going to stand guard the whole time, but the people that have been standing guard are there, and he goes back to the ship, and you guys are you have time to take a short rest and to commune whatever you need to commune.
For name purposes, it was Tegan, Daniel, and who else?
Claire.
And
Claire.
And what did Daniel do? I got all their other things, but I didn't.
He was the quartermaster. So like he's like the person that keeps the ship stocked and all that.
Thanks. Okay, so in the shack, I think Nori, well, instead of obviously just healing herself, she would take out her pine cone and probably sit with it just for a minute, thinking her god that she made it through the battle and that everyone did really well. And then also sending great things to her for having Midge pull through. And then put it down, put it back, and ask, all right, so what do we think would be good information to tell the captain and maybe get some extra insight on where our investigation should go next?
Should we ask her about the teleportation? If she knows anything about that?
Mm-hmm. I think that would be helpful. And we know that Captain so-and-so, I am finding her name, Kelly Greenbrick. We know that she's like another one of the good ones, correct? Like, she's not bad, but not great, but she's good.
Yeah.
Okay. So then maybe that would be important to tell her, that we know that there's like a hit out for her as well. Is then maybe they both have one specific common enemy. That us telling her that would then be like, oh, this so-and-so could be the person, so to speak. Does that make any sense?
Yeah, I think that's a good idea.
Yeah. Okay. So, ask about the teleportation.
And told you that as I was leaving the gambling hall we were in, that one of Gillian's crew members was trying to sneak out and go to town hall, correct? That may also be information to sort of maybe not let her know, but just to keep track of.
Gillian's crew, you said?
Yeah.
Okay. You may have told me that, but sorry, sometimes my brain's a little flighty, so thanks for the reminder. And then I'll take out my notebook off to the side, which I'm not going to do it stealthily, of course, and put, he told me about Gillian. That might be a good thing for humans, period. And then put away.
I'm going to insight check really quick.
Yep.
15.
Okay, and then Nori, you roll either deception or persuasion, your choice.
Can I just be honest?
Yeah, you can always choose to fail.
Yes, I did right. H and then period. I am very descriptive in my letters, Cass. I think, at least for Nori's, I think that was all she/I was going to ask about. And then also maybe suggest that, Frog, you take the questions again, if you don't mind. I just think that Captain has a little thing. And yes, I will be doing the shoulder shimmies as Nori as well. So
Frog is up for that.
Okay, if anyone's got anything... Go ahead, Dan.
As this conversation's happening, I'm just going to go up to Nori and like whisper in her ear, like right before we leave, just give her guidance. Just, who knows what could happen. Like, good things could happen from this.
Cass, I like that idea. Look at you being a team player. And I'll like tap his thigh. No, I won't. I'll tap his like calf.
So
I guess that's worse.
So you reached just horizontally from where your arms are.
Like this. So like smack his thigh in like a kind way of being like, wow. And then I'll note it in my brain for later that I need to take a note and put it in my journal.
Okay. If anyone's got anything they want to... Yep.
What's the teleportation thingy called?
You don't know like what it's called. You just see a sigil of it.
Okay.
Like, you know that the thing has teleportation magic on it.
Okay. And that's in the... What's the...
It was in the back of the gambling hall.
The gambling hall, okay. So we want to ask about the teleportation, and we are not telling him about Gillian's crew. Was there one more thing we were going to ask?
The hit on Kelly Greenbrick.
Right. Okay.
So then hour will have passed. You'll all have regained whatever you needed to regain from your short rest, and you hear a knock at the top. This time, against most of what you know from Dolly, there's a wait for a response. Like, it doesn't seem like knock and then enter. There's a knock and then a pause, so.
Frog will hop up and open the door.
Okay. You open the door, and then you both walk down the stairs together. And she's like, I expect you'd all have questions. I hope I can provide answers. What is needed from me?
Earlier today we went to the gambling hall, to try to find some more information. We went behind the gambling hall and entered through, like, a secret area. And we found a teleportation device. Do you know anything about that?
Not. Is it the mural on the back wall of, like, the skull and crossbones motif?
Yes.
Okay. I knew that was there. I did not know it was a teleportation thing. Those are dotted all across town, so I imagine that they are, whatever they are, I imagine they could be used to move quickly, or this morning you told me that you knew the spot was there today, and so maybe they're only activated on the days they're needed, but I have seen them around town. I know there's one in the vault, there's a couple just on the sides of buildings. There's a very large one on the floor of the main house, the law building. There's a couple all over the place. But yes, I know of what you speak.
Thank you, that was very helpful. We also discovered that Kelly Greenback also has a hit out on her, and we're wondering if you think that it's possible it could be the same person.
Well, as far
Do you
as...
have any common enemies with Kelly?
Kelly's a sweet lass, and we don't know each other well, but in terms of common enemies, anyone that likes the idea of maintaining a head pirate would be an enemy. Same with anyone that doesn't believe in female leadership. They could be viewed as an enemy, or really, I believe I haven't really heard much of hits going towards other crews. They've been mostly coming for myself and my kin for the last while, so this is a new and interesting development, but I would start there with either someone that doesn't want change or someone that doesn't like female leadership.
I can't imagine anyone would like female leadership. I for sure would love to be under your leadership.
Roll a persuasion check. With advantage.
Well, I'm gonna tap Frog and say, "You're right, Frog," and cast guidance. In addition to, while Frog is rolling that, can I roll an insight check to see if what the captain is saying is true? Yeah? Okay, cool.
Not nat 20.
She looks down, because there's a bit of a height difference, looks down and goes, well, you're already below me, but I could put you under a lot of things.
Frog says, anytime you'd like.
Cass in the background just casts and gives it a high five.
Dolly can see all of that going on, which makes it even better. Like, just a mage hand coming out high-fiving Frog. Nori, what was your insight check?
I rolled a 12.
A 12. Dolly is notoriously hard to get a read on, but you don't feel like she has any reason to lie to you. You can't be sure how truthful she is, but you don't get the feeling that she would want to be lying right now.
Right, 110%. Okay, solid. Thank you.
So Frog, after your anytime comment, she kind of gives herself a little laugh and then goes, but that's what nights are for. We still have 6 hours left of the day. Anything else we need to get done?
Frog will say, no, I think that we just need to venture out a little bit and keep looking for more information.
Then she's like, well, if you need, I would gladly avail myself to you and give services if there was a need for it. If you're going out and investigating a bit more, I would rather tend to me own problems, but if you have a feeling that you're going to be getting into something a little over your head, I am respected for a reason around here, and it would be fun to be in combat once more. But until then, if then arises, and if not then maybe tonight, I will see you all the next time. And she turns, as she's turning, she like pauses, turns back around, grabs your hand, Frog, kisses it, and then runs up the stairs.
Frog is in shock and just kind of like gasps and then is just like staring at Dolly like with wide eyes.
Can we catch the captain one more time?
As she's walking away, I'm just going to yell, Midge did a great job, by the way, but we're just going to leave her here.
Aye, that's fair. And just continues up the stairs.
Well, it sounds like you might have an evening in front of yourself there, Miss Frog.
Frog just laughs and then just kind of turns away like bashfully.
Well, with that information that we have, I don't know if it would be worth it for us to go visit Kelly Greenbreck and see if she has any information / also warn her. Or if like maybe we try and do some investigating of Gillian's crew to kind of see if there's any other insight we can gather from there. But I truly think that asking the captain for her help when we actually like take out individuals may be well worth our time. Just gonna put it out there.
In terms of crew relations, you all have no idea anyone from Gillian, but Cass, you do have the connection with Patty, so that could be an in. She's
gonna say.
It's like she was expecting you all tonight, but you could go earlier, and you don't imagine it'd be any issue from the conversation you both had. So you have a preset appointment with Kelly's crew if you want to hold that.
I'm just going to remind the group of the whole Patty situation in case they did forget about it with the hustle and bustle of the past day or so. But I would ask, do we want to push that meeting forward to right now or in a short amount of time? Just because we are sort of running low on time to get this done. And it's probably going to be easier to find Patty on the ship or by the ship rather than waiting to go to the bar later tonight. Some of us may already have plans. Just going to look at Frog blushing in the corner.
I don't think that's necessarily a bad idea. Might as well at least give it a little thought, and if it doesn't come to anything, then we at least know kind of what Gillian's crew members look like and can have that as like a secondary option.
Yeah, that seems like a good plan to Frog.
Okay, solid.
And just so we have our stories straight, how did we go about learning that Kelly had a hit out on her? I forgot that.
That was my insight, correct? When we were in the gambling hall, I was able to detect the different chips that they were using and then giving it to the teller.
Okay.
We want to divulge the information that we know that there's hits out on our captain, or no?
Probably not.
She's not our captain per se, but I would agree with Frog. I don't think that would add anything. I think good merit alone from telling them, hey, we have it from a good source that someone has a hit out on you, even if they already know, at least can put us in their good graces for potential help.
Okay, well, I'm also gonna let you two maybe take care of that. I'm like slightly charismatic. I know it's very hard to tell, but just in case, especially Cass, because you have the connection with Patty, maybe you should lead the conversation.
Sure. Anyway, with that, Cass just goes to the door, opens it up, and just sort of is like, all right, let's go. And as I do that, I'm just going to scan. I'm assuming this shed is on the end of, like, the dock next to the ship, correct?
Yep.
Yeah, like, is there anything out of the ordinary just from a quick scan when I open the door? Like, is there another assassin that's about to just murder us?
Yeah, when you open the door, no blades come directly for you. But yeah, go ahead and perceive anything you'd like to.
6.
6, okay. I think I'm going to narrate that 6 then as not so much you're not still keeping the same information you learned earlier about like coats and who belongs where and what, but I think we'll add in that you now know that they have a very easy just like disguise spell that they can put on themselves. So I think it's now like the trust of, oh, who are these people is who these people are pretending to be, and more so like you're thinking too much about it than seeing anything really there.
Understood. And as I'm leaving, I'm just gonna look back at Frog and be like, Frog, you spent some time becoming familiar with the raps you took from, that guy, right?
Yeah, I was working on that during our short rest.
Perfect. What'd you end up finding out about him?
They don't require attunement. They're not like a super magic item. As long as you just like wrap yourself with them, you can use that. It's like a one time a day, like one time a short rest, disguise self. So we'll say that if you did it at the start of the rest, you could then undo it and have a charge or after your rest.
Okay. And I just look like whatever, or do I get to decide?
You get to like whatever you want yourself to look like.
Okay.
It's like you can't change your like proportions too much, but like you can really make yourself look like whatever. And I will add that you know that since the charge was there at the start of your short rest, the assassin wouldn't have used it. So that tiefling person was who that tiefling person is.
Okay.
And do we know how long, or could one of us roll to see how long that would last?
I think you'd all know that the spell lasts 1 hour. Yeah, it's like a pretty common spell.
Can you describe it one more time, the actual thing he was wearing, or what the thing looks
It
like?
just kind of looks like an arm wrap bandage. So kind of like a compression tape type thing that like you'd wrap yourself up after your leg hurts. Or like that medical gauze that everyone has in their cabinet and then never uses until it gets sticky and weird. Like that type of a thing.
While we're walking to Kelly's ship or whatever the next step, can I also roll a perception check to see if I can notice that on anyone else's arm?
Yeah, go for it.
Is that what we're doing? We're walking to Kelly's ship?
That's the plan.
And if I'm proficient in it, I add my proficiency bonus.
Yep.
Solid. +2 +6, 22.
22. You like look down at Frog, or I don't know if you're wearing them, Frog, but the things that Frog had, and then look back around. No one in your in your perceivable area, no one in like your bubble has them, and like no one as you're walking has them either.
Okay, solid. All right, they're cast. I'm gonna give them another tap, and wait, hold on. Let me make sure it's. Never mind. I'm not gonna tap him quite yet. I will tap him when we get close to Kelly's ship, to then cast guidance on him for like any type of rolls he might need.
Yeah. And as you get up there, Patty's really easy to find. Cass, she told you that like she's kind of a front woman of the ship. Her job's not so much to be doing things, but her job's like to deal with anyone getting there. She's just sitting at like a little table on the docks itself, about 10 yards from the ship. She has a glass of lemonade, and she's just kind of sitting there talking with the other person assigned to work with her. And when she sees you all walk up, she looks up and goes, "You're a little early, but hi."
As we approach, Frog and Nori would notice notable change in Cass's demeanor as his true charismatic self that he doesn't really like to portray that often will come out to sort of handle this situation. And as I approach, just sort of walk up and be like, good morning.
Afternoon, Cass! Afternoon!
Cass and Patty both just look back at her being like, all right, anyway. As I approach, just gonna give away and be like, you're right. Our apologies. We are a bit early, but we come bearing some information that we found to be valuable to you and potentially your captain. And as I approach, I look down at her drink and be like, given it is still early in the day, it's a pretty weak drink for a pirate to be drinking on the shore, is it not?
I mean, if you knew what was in here, you might be thinking that, but you haven't asked what I'm drinking.
That's fair. That's about to say. Well, now I'm curious. What are you drinking?
Well, it looks like it's lemonade, aye. But if you pay attention to the cup and you look at the bottom there, the nice little swirl is a nice glyph someone gifted me in my youth that just refills it with the perfect amount of whatever rum I need it to be, so that the drink is always perfectly spiked.
That's interesting. Would you care if I took a swig really quick?
Absolutely, we don't know each other. But you said that you have information, so I'd be interested in what that is.
Well, so while we were gambling at the hall earlier, I'll be honest, I did not notice this as I was indulging myself in a little bit more gambling than paying attention. But one of my crew, and I'm just going to sort of wave them up if they're not right behind me, was keeping track of sort of coins going in and out. And one of them noticed that someone, we weren't able to perceive exactly who this was, we don't know the people, put a hit out, we believe, on your captain. So I'm not sure if this is a common thing that happens around here, but we did want to sort of give a forewarning just in case this is something for your team to be concerned about. And I'm just gonna, as I say that, look around and be like, I don't think you guys need to be worried about it per se, but still, we wanted to bring it to your attention.
Yeah, and she'll look up. Well, not look up, but continue engaging. She does a little glance to the other two. She knows that they're associates of you because the last time when you handed Mage's cloak up, they were the people at the table. So she has the idea that you all still move together and all. And I think she'd respond in that is good to know. When you said that you did various jobs and such, you didn't indicate that you had good espionage skills. So that could have been something to lead with last night, and it could be something to lead with going forward in any future job acquisitions. But I do appreciate it. I have to be honest, I'm not sure if this is or is not the first time. Kelly has not made the biggest of waves, and so I'm sure she'd be honored to find out if it is her first hit that one has acquired. But I don't know if we as a crew have had to manage this before. So that'll be a new learning experience. Thank you. You say you don't know the person because you don't know who's around here. Could you describe them to us? Could you indicate anything about them? Is there anything that you can give us to aid our research?
And as she says this, I'm just gonna look back at Nori and just sort of grab the back of her shirt and be like, "Hey, here you go."
What?
Okay.
What am I doing? What are you asking? Hi. Hello.
Hi. Good afternoon / appropriate time of day. I'm glad that you want to make sure everyone's aware. So you put in the hit, or you found the hit?
No, I would never put in a hit on someone that I did not know, nor do I think that is a very appropriate way to handle many things. However, my name's Nori. It's nice to meet you, Patty. I'm the one who saw the person take out the hit on your captain. And so I will then go into description of what they looked like.
Yeah, you described that it was the younger kid wearing the red, the dark crimson red garb of the Gillian crew. And just give whatever description you want to do. Do you fancify it at all? Do you keep it as easy as possible? How do you deliver that information?
I'll keep it as simple as possible, only not hiding any details, but telling that from Patty's reactions to things, she is not necessarily a very boisterous character, or so maybe she wouldn't enjoy that type of description. So I'll leave it at that, but then continue the description with, we are in town, and as I'm sure Cass was telling you, looking for work. And since we have this information, would you like help trying to take care of it? You know, we can be pretty stealthy, and we've been able to encounter some interesting characters, to say the least. But as a fellow woman, it's very cool to see Kelly doing so well, and we would not like any harm to come to her and kind of take out someone maybe that's doing some mischievous things.
Hi. Has anyone ever told you talk too much?
Yes. Yes, I have.
But that's just kind of how the Fae folk are. We enjoy being a little bit bubbly, particularly around humans. Assuming that Patty is human.
She is, yeah. Love it. She is a human. He goes, okay. And I'm gonna give you the benefit of the doubt that your people are not just being tricksy, as the Fae sometimes in history have known to do, but your friend there seems capable, and he certainly put on a show for us last night. I will say it was fun watching you clearly try and succeed in rope tricks. Good job. And that buys a bit of sway. The description you gave would match the description of those currently docked in the town hall of Gillian's crew, and so that's quite something. If you'd like to give me a moment, I can go convey what we've learned and give you a response from the one that makes decisions around here.
That would be fantastic.
Okay. And you see that she turns and gives a pause, picks up her drink and takes it with her, and walks onto the ship. And she's going to be back in like 5 minutes, so if there's anything you all want to quickly tell each other, you have a couple of minutes.
Anyone here know magic? Because that was awesome. I was really hoping she was going to leave her cup, so I could at least try it. But anyway, on top of that, are we concerned about anything with this?
No, I don't really think so. From what it seems like from our other conversations, like, Kelly seems pretty keep it to herself, so to speak, and not really looking to frustrate other people. So, at least that's my opinion.
Frog, clearly in her own world, just like turns to Nori and is like, "What do you think I should wear tonight?"
Okay, well, so I think we should try and talk about it later, and it should be something not like too flashy, but just like a little flashy, because then it'll be like, I'm going like somewhat 9 yards for you, but not the whole 9 yards. You first have to like woo me a little bit too, because yeah, sure, she's cool and all, but so are you, Frog, so you just can't like give her the whole show right away.
Frog just like mutters like, good strategy, and then goes back to her own little world.
So, Cass, to answer your question, no, I think we're fine. You know, could you like woo her a little bit more? She was a little bit rude. I didn't realize I talked too much. I'm so sorry.
I mean, she's not wrong. She's not wrong. And as they're sort of bickering back and forth and we're waiting, I'm just going to recast mage armor on myself, since I didn't do it before the last battle and it caused some issues.
After your little conversations pass, it's a bit quicker than 5 minutes. You see that Patty comes back down, and she's like, Kelly would like to thank you for the information you've shared, and she is very grateful for the awareness. She did not indicate whether or not she's expecting this or she knew, but she did indicate that she knows it's been happening to her fellow, they're not quite on the same tier, but the other female captain, and she's asked that we start to keep our guard up. So I appreciate that you gave us a notice, and if there's anything you can give us that would allow us to further be prepared, I would love to have that information. Or if there's anything that we can provide you, whether it be, we're really just kind of the nice ones, so we can't like give you like a fighter or anything, but if you need a certain ear spoken in, or if you need like someone to do something with you for a brief moment, I see that your fourth companion is missing. We're not giving you a companion, but if you need us for any little favors, feel free to ask and call in.
Can our little bit of a favor, potentially just be asking a quick question if you would happen to know it at all?
I wouldn't call it a favor, but if you have a question, you can ask a question.
Well, I'm glad you wouldn't call a favor. Just wanted to make sure. If you happen to know that it's Gillian's crew from the description that we gave you, would there be any reason you think that Gillian's crew is trying to take out the 2 women captains?
Well, Gillian has been the leader of this town for... my memory isn't the best, and I'm not the oldest, but I believe 60 years or so. And men in power typically don't enjoy giving up the power that they have, especially when it is to someone that seems to want to change or upset the social narrative. Kelly would rather be in charge and then dissolve, and Dolly would rather just dissolve the system entirely. And so it could be he was viewing it as protection for the town. It could be he's viewing it as keeping things the way they're supposed to be. It could be, as you've indicated, it's a woman. There's very small doubt in my mind that that plays any bit of part in it. I would be fully unsurprised if that was the sole reason. But with a man like that who's been in power for so long and rarely shows his face due to fear of being offed himself, it's hard to guess what someone would be thinking.
Okay. And then this is outside perspective. When we were doing the hit research, so to speak, did we ever then gather what the time was between when the hit would then go out, when the time between when the hit went out and an actual assassination happened or attempt happened?
No, because really the only ones that you know of are Dolly's, which has been going on for an undisclosed amount of time, but a while. And then you saw this one go in, but you don't really have a timeline for those either.
Okay. Okay. I think then secondary question would be, do you or anyone in the crew know of anyone else that's had any type of assassination attempts on them recently?
Our crew, we really aren't Kelly is big. Kelly makes waves. Kelly does well. The rest of us are more of talkers and performers and niceties that attract people to our crew to do a lot of the jobs we don't want. And so I don't imagine we'd be on that level, and as far as I know, nobody has come for us. Probably a if you're gonna kill a snake, take off its head sort of situation. But as far as I know, no, and nobody seems to have been acting weird, and nothing's really caught my eye. Granted, as you can see, I don't spend a lot of my time on the ship. My job is to deal with the kind folk like you, but I can do whatever. I can look into that if need be, and we'll see where it goes. But as far as I know, no.
When she said that, other comment, my eyes are gonna narrow a little bit. Just in a little flash of, and then go back to the normal, bubbly self. And then I'll say, well, thank you for all the information and the help. Is there any way we can contact you quickly if we found anything out that would be of importance? Or should we just try and find you back at insert place name here because Nori totally forgot what it's called, that we found her the night before?
He's like, yeah, I will either be, if I'm not here, I'm probably at the vault. If I'm not at the vault and I'm not here, I'm probably somewhere I don't want to be found. So those would be your best situations to find me. Or if any of you have any sort of magic, I know that there's a spell to allow people to communicate, but I'm not magically inclined myself, so I have no idea where that is.
All right, lovely. I think Nori will start to probably walk away a little bit and trail off if anyone else wants to find her or not, or follow her.
Frog will just look up and be like,
All right.
oh, we're leaving, and then follow along.
I'm going to just thank Patty again for her assistance, and be like, if I find you in the vault later, maybe we'll share around again as I walk away.
Yeah. That would be nice. Looking forward to it. Cool. And then we move from that scene. Nori, you have lots of faces you're making. What's on Nori's mind?
Sorry, I was just trying to see if Dan or I had sending. I don't think we do. I have silence. Maybe I should put that on myself, according to Cass and Patty. All right. Anyway, as we're walking off the ship, I would then maybe suggest we go to the town hall, because that's where Patty said that Gillian's crew is known for, or known at.
Yeah, it's where they're residing. Like, because he is the head captain of the town. Like, his ship's not really out in the sea. They're not leaving much. So, like, his crew is like, that's essentially like their ship is the town hall center.
And would we know or have any reason to suspect that... Or wait, I guess that's not the way to ask it. Would we know how, like, he's come to power, if that makes any sense? They don't have, like, elections or whatever. He's just, like, taken power and people let him take that power.
Yeah, if you want to make a history check, you can.
I'm not very intellectual, but sure, why not?
Any of you can make it.
11.
Anyone else trying to help with this?
I'll help with it. 18.
18, okay. And so, I think, Nora, you would remember, at the bar last night, Midge kind of said, like, it's a, if there needs to be, like, a vote for it, they'd either do a diplomatic vote or do the much more pirate way of offing each other. And so if someone declared that they were going to be and were able to, like, kill the current head captain and then have their crew take over the house, they would be like, look, we're in charge now. Dan, I think with your 18, you would know, just, like, from stories of people going between the towns or stuff like that, that Patty was wrong. He's only been in charge for 30 years, not 60. But that he also seems to have, like, a deep distrust of everyone around him except for, like, his first, second, third, fourth mates, which would also go in line with what you had seen at the bar the night prior, where, like, crew members were there and some of the mates were there, but no one really, like, important were there because they're the people he keeps around them. I think on an 18, that's all you'd really gain, unless you have, like, any specific questions you want to ask about.
No. I think that's makes sense.
Okay.
Or maybe that the next place isn't necessarily the town hall. Or should we try and go back to the transportation sigil and see if that could take us to a different place? What do we feel like is the best route to go?
I wonder if maybe checking out some of the places that Dolly mentioned already had them might be easier, because I feel like, what if we teleport to one of them and then there's, like, people there and then we're gonna have an issue because then people will know we're onto them and that kind of thing, and also we might die. But maybe just, like, go check them out first, at least the ones that we know of.
Yeah, we can
Yeah.
montage that, just because of running around town, checking each one would take a bit of time. Frog, you have, like, kind of attuned into the sigil of this. The ones that you have access to, so that would be, like, the ones just on the sides of the walls, the one at the vault, like, the ones by the shrine. None of those are giving off the same energy of, like, teleportation and abjuration. They all seem to either be dormant or were never installed. The ones that you really wouldn't have access to would be any ones in, like, private quarters in the housing district, or the one, like, the very large one she mentioned in the town hall. Those ones you wouldn't be able to get to, but we'll say that you all take, like, 2 hours running around town, so by this point it's, like, 5 in the evening, and the, like, ones that you could get to do not have the same magic on them.
Okay, so maybe we take a long rest and then try teleporting, just in case.
You want to take a long rest?
Well, I'm just suggesting, like, maybe we wait until we take our long rest to teleport so that we at least have all of our health back and all of our spell slots, just in case something happens.
Yeah, I think that's probably a good idea. Based on that information, the ones on like the sides of the town or the sides of the building and the one next to the shrine, when you say they're not installed, do you mean that they're not just currently active, or that like Frog would be able to tell that like tomorrow morning it's not gonna just magically come to power, if that makes any sense?
Yeah. So what I meant by like dormant is that like they have the essence of the magic there, but it's not strong like the one that you know is working today is. So it could be that like tomorrow any of those ones will be the active one, but like none of them are like doing like a wellspring where Frog, you're like, oh, this one feels stronger, this one feels like it's about to start. But you would know that like as of right now, none of those go anywhere.
Okay,
Yeah.
so it could be like an on-off switch, so to speak.
Yep,
One
could be,
could turn
yep.
on tomorrow, the other. Okay, so that thought could be correct.
So then do we want to try today? Since we already know where the one is?
I think right now with like I have my 2 higher spell slots gone and my 2 of my lower ones gone as well. So I only have 2 left. I'm at full hit points, but I still think it would be smart for us to rest and then maybe tonight within the town hall or the vault or wherever do a little bit more recon and then see what we can find in the morning tomorrow and then maybe get Dolly with us and make a plan of action from there. That's just kind of my thoughts. How about you, Cass?
I'm fine. I was about to say I'm full up, spells ready to go, but if 2 of the 3 are concerned, I don't think my vote's going to change this.
Yeah, I think. Well, still, your opinion matters. Well, based on that, maybe we should then just go and do some recon, scope out some Gillian crew, or try and perceive some things, and see if anything happens tonight, and then just kind of take a teleportation tomorrow, especially since we know where some of them are at in the public locations. We might be able to use that to our advantage. And I can look at my spells and see if I can get anything prepared that would help us.
I would just suggest that if we take a long rest, if we're going to use these, we should do them early morning, like right when our long rest ends. Otherwise, we're waiting a whole nother day to try to do this. I don't think using them in the middle of the day is our best option.
Yeah.
But that's just me.
I think that's great.
Okay.
Wonderful.
So then, was there anything else you wanted to do before we moved into like long rest mode? Like, because we could like start your long rest at the vault if nothing broke out. If it was like a calm time, it could just consider start there. Like Frog, if you're going to visit Dolly, it could start there, especially if you're trying to do it really early in the morning. Or you could just be like, we need to be on mission. We need to just go to bed early tonight, especially because you all had such a late night the night before. You lost a lot of early hours. When are you all hoping to take that rest versus what would you all still like to get done before the rest happens?
I think attempting to do some type of recon would be important within Gillian's crew, just to see if we can listen to any conversations or whatever that looks like, and then take a long rest, even if we only spend like an hour doing it.
Yeah, Frog will say that she's, they've only got her until 7 o'clock and then she's skipping out.
Well, nothing like a few drinks to get everybody limber for the rest of the night.
Right. My thought is that I am, and I can guide myself, so I can go into town hall by myself if you guys want to go. So I'm not talking to people. I'll keep my mouth shut. Cass is giving me a look, so I could do that. Or if someone else feels more adept to do that as well. I'm just thinking the splitting up might be a good idea. Since we're only going to be doing it for 2 hours, and we'll just say once the sun hits the sky at a certain point, we'll just meet up back at Dolly's ship.
I'm fine with that. I think I apologize. I wasn't laughing at you. I'm just trying to imagine what you're gonna disguise yourself as being 3 feet tall.
I would probably do a foot taller and then try and disguise the rest of my being to look closer to like a neutral party in terms of like fresh meat. So they don't necessarily have any alliances to anyone, so not wearing any particular colors that would potentially symbolize any of the crews, and look like a little bit more like coming in off the streets.
Okay. Are you still like keeping your face and everything the same, or are you like changing your like actual appearance as well?
No, I'll change my actual appearance. I'll still be female because gosh knows that I cannot lower my voice. But I'll try and appear more human-like.
Okay.
And embrace any fake features that would be, would signify who I am.
Okay. And then the other two, are we going to follow her along and like stand back a distance, or are you trusting Nori and go into the vault early?
Probably going to the vault.
Yeah, I would go to the vault, and when Frog leaves, I will go just a building or two over from Town Hall and wait somewhere where I can see both Dolly's ship and Town Hall, and just sort of keep an eye on the areas.
Okay, then I think Nori will follow you on your quest over towards the town hall. So as you're getting there, you get to the town hall. It's furthest back on the main street. It's a large building. It's kind of like, it's got the same treatment as everything else, where like the elven history of this building has been erased. It's covered in pirates. It's covered in things. You still have the eye for architecture, so you're still able to like see like, oh well, that was once a nice mural, that was once a nice thing, but the building is kind of like had wood thrown on it to like give the skeleton of a ship, as though the building itself was somewhere to be at, like kind of like if it was a ship in docked in port type thing. As you get closer, there are a couple people that are like on guard at the front door, but like they're not really watching for much. You are like, even with your passive perception, you're good enough at like telling how hard they're looking. It's the time of night that everyone else has been let go to the bars and all, and these two are here, so you might be able to use that as an advantage talking with them. You could also take some time to like scope out the building and see if there's a secret way in other than the front door if you want to get inside. The ball is in your court for what you'd like to do.
Would there be any reason that I would know that I couldn't just walk inside?
No.
Okay, I think for now I'll just walk inside, but then afterwards I'll do a perception check or investigation, whatever, of the building on its outside.
Okay. So as you're walking up, those two guards see you coming in, like lazily go, name and business.
My name is Waterford Sir Patrick. You can call me Wari for short. I'm new to town, and I'm just kind of trying to look about where I should go to get some information about crews and pirates, and I was told this is a good place because it is the main leader's area.
Okay, Wari. That doesn't hold up, but I don't really care. You want to go inside? Is that all you want? Just to go inside?
Yeah, I mean, that'd be really great. It's been a long journey. Just kind of want to take a look around and then go to that place that has the food that's down the way.
Mm-hmm. If you give us all your weapons, we'll let you inside. You can get them back when you come out.
Okay. I'll get them my weapons.
Cool. Anything you're trying to like disguise and keep on you, or are you like actually handing over your material weapons?
No, I'm not gonna try. I'm not very stealthy. So we're just gonna hand them over.
Yeah. Hand them over, and they're like, "Okay, Wari, go ahead." And like they just open the
Thanks.
door, and you're able to go in. Inside, you see that this place, like, if you imagine what a courtroom would have looked like, or like a town hall meeting center would have looked like, they've kind of like broken up all of the seating and have turned it into like layers of sleeping quarters. Like there's wooden posts that have like hammocks strung between them. There are like different areas that have been divided into. So even though it's open concept, you can see like, oh, that's like the eating area. That's like the where we practice fights area. That's like the sleeping area. And there's like a big divide. The space isn't that large, but it's not too much smaller than the interior of a ship would actually be. And so they've kind of converted the inside to like a multi-layer. This is where things are. With that and with being on a ship, you could kind of imagine if you want to see where the higher ups are, you could go like to the top floor and sneak by that cabin. But for the most part, since everyone not that important is at the bar, it's pretty empty in here.
Can I just roll a perception check to see if I can see the same person who had put the hit out and see if they're
Yep.
here?
Yeah, go ahead.
24.
24. Yeah. I will let you know at the 24, because that's a very good roll. That you see in like one of the back hammock areas. It's like not like where the people are, it's kind of in the back. There is not the person you're looking for, but there's the same like clothes they were wearing and a mask that's the same face you saw earlier. From a distance that you guys weren't close enough up to tell that it was a mask of some kind, and it's located pretty close to that like giant sigil that Dolly said would be on the ground.
Within this area, could I do anything within reason that wouldn't cause too much suspicion to myself? Like to go investigate? Like if I just happened to go walk up there and go peer around there, would that cause any notoriety?
There are, like, it's not fully empty. There are a couple of people lingering, but like you were given permission by someone to be in here. You don't seem to be posing a threat. As long as you don't continue, like as long as you don't start posing a threat, you get the feeling that these people aren't gonna care that much.
Okay. And I'll try and go up into that area and investigate the costume a little bit further, the sigil.
Yeah. Go ahead and do an Arcana check first.
I'm going to guide myself.
Okay.
Oh, never mind, it's not going to matter. I got a nat 1, so.
Oh. Well, and that one doesn't auto-fail for skills.
Okay,
So
fine. So, nat 1 plus 2, so 3.
Okay. I was really hoping you hit a 5. You did not hit a 5.
No.
Sigil's just there. You have no idea if it works, if it's on. You don't feel any magical presence coming from it. But in terms of your investigation check on the other thing, go ahead and make investigation or perception to kind of like get the like thoughts you were having for the other place.
Plus a d4. Okay, so that's gonna be a 15.
15 for perception?
Yes.
Okay. You would not really glean much more than you've seen. Like, you know that it's there. Looking at the robe and like the mask it has on, it seems to be part of a disguise kit, like I said. So it could fit anyone, it could fit size. It's still like a humanoid size. It's not like your current half stature that you'd be drowning in cloth if you had that on. But I will say your cleric senses start cleric tingling. Go ahead and make a religion check as you're like messing around in the area.
Okay. 16 this time.
16, okay. You get the feeling that there's like an undead presence lingering on the like parts of the disguise kit. Like you get that feeling that you get sometimes when you're interacting with other fae, or like when some of the humans try and do things to you, you get a feeling like there's a bit of undead nonsense hanging around this area of the cabin.
An undead part of this area of the cabin. How large is this area of the cabin? Like, are there like 4 rows of hammocks? Are there multiple just chambers within the area?
It seems to be like this back area closest to the sigil. You're not like fully able to breathe it in, but as you're kind of like just doing like your little I'm just exploring walk, you get a sense that the closer you are to the sigil and the closer you are to like the disguise room has that undead essence on it.
Okay. In order to investigate that further, could I just go up and investigate, obviously, but like touch the symbol or sigil, rummage through a little bit of the costume to see if I can try and pinpoint more whereabout it's directly coming from, and if not, then just like get the feeling, if that makes any sense.
Yeah. I'm gonna say you're spending a lot of time in like this one area, so if you want to do that, go ahead and make a stealth check. If you don't want to try for the extra information, you can just be like, I'm not gonna risk it and walk out.
Well, that was my nat 20, so yes,
Nice.
I would like to continue stealthing around.
You just meld in, pass around as needed. Yeah, go ahead and I'll let you make one more check for whatever. Actually, you got a nat 20. I'll let you make 2 more checks at advantage. So let me know 2 things you want to look into, and I'll tell you what to roll.
My options are to look at the costume itself, to look at the sigil, and then like general
or to
checks
or like
around.
to explore more. Yeah.
I will do the costume itself.
Okay.
And like a general check to see if the costume itself doesn't give me the pinpoints of the undead feeling, I'll check the general whereabouts.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, those are the 2 checks I'll do.
So costumes first at advantage, and go ahead and do either investigation or religion.
That first one at advantage is a 14.
Okay. With a 14, I think you'd be able to pinpoint out that it's not so much the costumes itself, it's the area. Like, it doesn't seem like an undead is wearing the costumes ever. It seems like an undead is meeting with this area of people that are, like, someone's coming in with the costume, talking with an undead, and then it's just like that area is where the meetings happen.
Okay. So it's like a residual effect, so to speak?
Yeah.
Okay.
Which, as a cleric, you would know it means that, like, this has been going on long enough that the effect lingers. Like, normally the effect isn't going to linger, but it's been here long enough that it's, like, starting to permeate into the area itself.
Okay. I think with that information, I'm going to try and see if I can perceive anything else in this area while maybe walking towards... Are there any rooms that seem private, so to speak? Like, in a courtroom, the, like, judge's chamber, to maybe then just, like, walk by to see if I can hear anything?
There is, like, a judge's chamber on the back, but right now you're on, like, the lower floor, and you get the feeling if you want, like, any sort of private, you have to climb the rigging up to the top floor.
Are there people around the top floor?
Like, there's people everywhere, but it's not, like... You can tell that there are people up there, but you don't know how many, and you don't know how much.
And would I then know if climbing to the top floor would cause attention to be negatively diverted towards me?
Yeah, you have a feeling like if it went poorly, it would.
Okay.
Yeah.
I don't think I want to do that. Is there anything else to try and investigate down here or perceive down here?
You're still riding out that stealth pretty well. So if you wanted to, you could, like, the other rooms on this the other areas on this floor would be like the training facility and like the cooking area. So if you wanted to go see if anything's in either of those, you could. Or there are still a couple of people in here that like didn't not notice you, but they didn't notice you in a term of like caring. You could go talk with them. You could ascend and hope that you climb well. You could revisit your sigil just because it didn't go well the first time doesn't mean you can't try it again. Or you could just be like, I like what I found, and head out.
If I have time, like prior to it being 7 o'clock, I'll go chat with a person based on Cass's information of like knowing maybe their ranks by what they're wearing, someone who seems a little bit lower rank.
The people on this floor all seem like they're low-level scrubs. So easy to find. Like the 5 people left on this floor, any of the 5 of them would all be that level you're hoping to find.
Preferably someone who's either by themselves that doesn't look super freaking grumpy, or like 2 people that just seem like casually chatting. I don't want to make like a big fuss, if that makes any sense.
The like 2 people you passed in on the way that are just like hanging out in the hammocks, you could go talk with them.
Okay, I'll mosey my way over there and talk to them.
They look down and they're like, You're not part of the crew. Who are you? The other one's like, remember, we're supposed to be nice. Who the fuck are you?
Oh, okay. Hi, my name's Wary. I'm new to town, and I'm kind of just looking for more information about crews around here, if I should join this one, if I even can join this one. If I can't, it's fine. I realize I'm really short, but pretty stealthy, pretty strong, so I'm here to do my grunt's worth and make it worth it.
Cool. I mean, the pay's good. If you want a job that's going to pay well, the pay's good. If you want any sort of benefits, no. If you want any sort of upward mobility, no. If you just need a stable house over your head and a bit of respect, it's an easy job. We don't go to sea, so we don't really need to be trained in any of that. We don't really talk to the captain ever. Don't need to have anything like that. As long as you can hold a sword or a weapon of some sort and put up a fight when you need to, as long as you know how to tie some knots, easy enough. You're allowed to join. There aren't a lot of women here. You could probably go talk to like the other crews, and if you have any problems, feel more secure there, but you're not welcome.
Do you enjoy being a part of this crew? Just in terms of it's a roof over your head and it's decent pay?
It's better than having to actually work, and it's better than being homeless. So, good enough.
Fair point. How long have you guys been a part of Gillian's crew?
It's Captain O'Brien, and the one...
Oh, sorry.
Yeah, and then the one's like, I've been here for like 6 weeks, and the other one's been like, I've been here for like 3 months. I forgot your other question, but I'm sure I can answer it if you ask again, and ask only one question. Because we were just having a conversation, then you walked in and just started like stream of conscious asking us stuff, which like perfectly fine. We're here to help, I guess. But like, I'm tired.
Well, it seems like it's been a long day for you two, so thanks for your help. I think I'll take my time elsewhere, and I'll just go walk out the door and go talk to the 2 guys so I can get my stuff back.
Have a good life. Hope you join. Be good to have you. And then, like, as you walk out, they just resume the conversation that they were having. Cool, and I think
Lovely.
that'll be where we wrap up. We'll start the next one with you getting your stuff back and doing a recap. But I think that is where we'll stop for today's episode of Help Action Needed, a D&D podcast. Thank you all for playing. Thank you all for listening. If you want to get in contact with us, we have several ways you can do that. Number 1, which is just kind of a, hey, we like you, would be to rate, review, share this podcast. Let us know what you're thinking. Let us know what you're feeling. Just kind of let us know anything you need to. Other ways that you can get in contact with us directly would be to email us at helpactionneeded@gmail.com. All one word, no spaces, no parentheses, just helpactionneeded@gmail.com. We also have an Instagram account, which is Help Action Needed on Instagram. Over there, we post little clips about the show, little trailers about it, as well as just some behind-the-scenes stuff or whatever we feel like. Again, thank you all for listening, and goodbye.